Welcome to Discover Daily by Perplexity, an AI-generated show on tech, science, and culture. I'm Isaac.
And I'm Sienna. Today we're examining 2025 predictions from 100 years ago. But first, let's look at what else is happening across the tech landscape.
Our first story today involves a significant development in the ongoing legal battle between Elon Musk and OpenAI. Geoffrey Hinton, known as the Godfather of AI, has publicly backed Musk's lawsuit against OpenAI. This adds considerable weight to the challenge against OpenAI's transition from a non-profit to a for-profit entity.
Hinton's support stems from his concerns about OpenAI's shift towards a for-profit model. He criticized OpenAI co-founder Sam Altman, stating that he appears much less concerned with safety than with profits. This aligns with Hinton's broader apprehensions about the potential risks of rapidly advancing AI technology.
It's worth noting that Hinton believes this move sends a very bad message to the AI community and the public. He argues that the transition to a for-profit structure could compromise OpenAI's original mission of ensuring AI benefits humanity as a whole, rather than serving the interests of a select few.
The lawsuit has been unfolding over several months, with some key developments shaping the legal battle. It started in November 2024, when Musk filed the initial lawsuit, and by December, it expanded to include Microsoft, with Musk accusing the tech giant of exerting undue influence over OpenAI's operations.
What's interesting is that OpenAI has vigorously defended itself against these claims, dismissing them as baseless and overreaching. They've even filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit, arguing that Musk's allegations lack specificity and factual support.
Despite the legal challenges, OpenAI's valuation has skyrocketed. In October 2024, the company raised $6.6 billion in new funding, nearly doubling its valuation to $157 billion. This puts OpenAI in the same market capitalization territory as established giants like Uber, AT&T, and Goldman Sachs. Now let's move on to our second story, which highlights a growing concern in the tech world: the impact of AI-driven data centers on the U.S. power grid.
A recent study has found that the rapid expansion of AI data centers is causing severe power quality distortions in nearby residential areas. Over half of the households experiencing the worst power distortions were located within 20 miles of major data center activity.
These distortions, known as bad harmonics, can have serious implications. They can damage household appliances and electronics not designed to handle irregular power flows, increase vulnerability to electrical fires, and even lead to brownouts and blackouts in affected areas.
The impact extends beyond individual households. The electricity demand from data centers is projected to more than double over the next decade, potentially threatening U.S. grid reliability. According to a recent JLL report, the planned for capacity has nearly doubled, reaching 22 gigawatts.
To keep pace with the current rate of AI adoption, data centers' power needs are expected to grow to about 3 times their current levels. This is driving utilities to potentially increase generation by 7 to 26%, above 2023 levels by 2028.
The strain on the power grid is not just a technical issue, but an economic one as well. Electricity bills in the United States are expected to see an extraordinary rise due to the increasing power demands of data centers and AI technologies. This surge in energy consumption could lead to significant infrastructure investments, with costs likely to be passed on to consumers through higher utility rates.
It's clear that this rapid expansion of AI-driven data centers is creating a complex challenge that requires innovative solutions. Experts suggest that data centers could play a crucial role in reshaping the energy landscape by participating in utility demand response programs and setting precedents for managing larger loads from emerging technologies.
Now let's turn to our deep dive for today, which takes us on a journey back in time to look at some remarkably accurate predictions made a century ago.
In 1925, British scientist and inventor Archibald Montgomery Low made a series of visionary predictions about life in 2025. What's fascinating is how many of these predictions have actually come true. Low accurately forecasted advancements such as radio alarm clocks, personal communication devices, renewable energy sources, and even moving sidewalks.
He anticipated the use of radio alarm clocks to wake people at specific times, personal communication devices akin to modern smartphones, and the widespread adoption of loudspeakers and television machines for news and entertainment.
Lowe also predicted the harnessing of wind and tidal power for energy production, which has become increasingly important in our efforts to combat climate change. His foresight extended to urban mobility as well, with predictions of moving sidewalks and escalators that we now see in many airports and shopping centers.
It's worth noting that while many of Lowe's predictions have come true, some of his more ambitious forecasts remain unrealized. For example, he envisioned a future where secret cameras and microphones would be used ubiquitously to record crimes. While we do have widespread surveillance systems today, they haven't reached the level Lowe imagined.
Lowe also predicted the widespread use of moving floors and escalators for transportation. While we do have these in some settings, they haven't become a dominant mode of urban mobility as he envisioned. And his prediction of loudspeakers replacing newspapers for news delivery has only partially materialized through digital media, as print journalism continues to exist alongside modern communication technologies.
You know, what's particularly interesting about Lowe is that his contributions to technology extended far beyond these predictions. He's known as the father of radio guidance systems, due to his pioneering work in unmanned aerial vehicles and radio guidance systems. In 1917, Lowe and his team developed the world's first wireless-controlled rocket, a precursor to modern guided missiles.
He pioneered the development of powered drone aircraft and worked on early television technology before World War I. His Televista system, demonstrated in 1914, was a precursor to television, employing a matrix detector and mosaic screen that in some ways resembled a digital TV system decades ahead of its time.
Despite facing skepticism from British military authorities, Lowe's innovations were recognized by others. In fact, the Germans made unsuccessful attempts to assassinate him due to the potential of his inventions. His work even influenced the development of German V-1 and V-2 rockets during World War II.
Lowe's legacy truly extends beyond his technological predictions. His contributions to various fields, including his authorship of over 40 books on science and engineering, cemented his place as a visionary scientist whose ideas continue to resonate in modern technology.
Looking back at Lowe's predictions and inventions, it's clear that he had an extraordinary ability to anticipate technological trends and their potential impact on society.
As we continue to push the boundaries of technology today, it's fascinating to look back and see how visionaries like Lowe imagined our present. It makes you wonder what predictions we're making today that might come true in the next 100 years.
Thank you, Sienna, and thank you to our listeners for tuning in to today's episode of Discover Daily. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite platform. For more info on anything we covered today, check out the links in our episode description. And don't forget, you can now access Perplexity's AI-powered knowledge base on the go with the mobile app, available for both Android and iOS. There's also the Perplexity desktop app for Mac OS. We'll be back with more stories that matter. Until then, stay curious.